What is the agenda for today's classes? I'm going to take the class for next 60 minutes. In the next 60 minutes of time, what we are going to discuss is, we'll discuss complete introduction to Power BI. Complete introduction to Power BI. Okay, so first, as part of this, you will learn three things. In order to understand Power BI, first we need to understand data analysis, guys. Without knowing about data analysis, you're not supposed to start learning Power BI. That is the reason first we will try to understand what is data analysis. Once you get the clarity about data analysis, once you get the clarity about data analysis, second, you'll understand what is Power BI. What is Power BI? As soon as you understand data analysis, we'll start learning about Power BI. Once you learn about Power BI, then you'll learn how to perform data analysis using Power BI. How to perform data analysis using Power BI. Just you will be understanding is how to perform data analysis using Power BI software. You will understand. These are the 3 points you people will understand in today's class, guys. First, let's start with what is data analysis. If anybody knows here what is data analysis, just tell me. I'll write the definition. Why? Because this Power BI software is used to perform what? Power BI software is used to perform data analysis. That is the reason first we need to know what is data analysis. Tell me, what is the definition of data analysis? Let me write the definition, guys. Data analysis is a process. If you ask me, there are many definitions. When you go to the Google or somewhere you will search, you'll find different definitions. Let me give one best definition, guys. Data analysis is a process which converts business data into actionable information. Actionable information. This is the definition I will provide for data analysis. Okay, you'll understand. I'm telling it's a process. Whenever I said it's a process, what is the meaning for process means? Process means collection of steps. Process means what? Collection of steps. So let me show you what are the different steps available in data analysis. I'll just open one image here, one Word document here. I'll just show you how many different steps. This is data analysis. You guys can see what are the different steps available in the data analysis. How many steps available in the data analysis totally? 5 steps. Just read that 5 steps, guys. First step is what? OLTP. Second step is ETL. Third step is OLAP. Fourth step is creating reports. Fifth step is sharing to the clients. First, we need to aware of this 5 steps. Then only we can start learning Power BI. So what is OLTP? We need to learn. What is ETL? We need to learn. What is OLAP? We need to learn. What is reports? Why we need to share? Once you understand this, then we'll start Power BI. Okay. So let me show you data analysis architecture. I'm just going to show you now data analysis architecture here. I'm just going to open another image. This image is data analysis architecture. Data analysis also call it as business intelligence. Data analysis also known as what? Some people will call it as business intelligence. Some people will call it as data analysis. Data analysis or business intelligence contains how many steps I said? 5 steps. First step is what? OLTPs. OLTPs. Second step is what? ETL. Third step is OLAP. OLAP. Fourth step is creating reports or visuals. Fifth step is what? Sharing with the so this is how it will graphically looks. Data analysis. Okay, this is the plain diagram. This is the graphical diagram. I'll explain. First, let me write it here. I said that data analysis, to be more specific, data analysis is a 5-step process. What is that? What that 5-step process will do? That 5-step process will convert company's business data into what? Actionable information. What is the business data? What is actionable information? You people will learn. In few minutes, you will learn. Fine, let's start. First, let me write what are the 5 steps. OLTP, ETL, OLAP, create reports, and last one, rare reports to clients. These are the 5 steps available or not. So before I start explaining each step in a detailed way, let's start like this. Who will use this data analysis? Who will use data analysis? Okay, data analysis is there. It contains 5 steps, right? Who will use this 5 steps? Means each and every company perform data analysis. No matter whether the company is a big company or whether the company is a small company, they need to perform what? They need to perform what? Data analysis. So why they need to perform data analysis is companies need to perform data analysis to take better business decisions. Companies need to perform data analysis to take better business decisions, to take better business what decisions. So what is the meaning is, let's say, I'll give some examples. Companies need to perform data analysis. Data analysis uh, to take better decisions. What is the meaning is, let's say in our training institute, we are conducting multiple courses. I need to know which courses are doing good, which courses are doing bad. So based on that only, I can take some decisions. Based on that only, we can take the decisions. Let's say a company is selling 100 products. When a company is selling the 100 products, they need to know which products are selling good. They need to analyze this 100 products data. Analyzing the data means understanding where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. That is nothing more. So when a company is selling 100 products, they need to understand which products are selling good, which products are selling bad. Based on that only, they'll take decisions like how much stock we need to maintain. So can I go and maintain equal stock for all the 100 products? Is it correct? No, it is not recommended to maintain a same stock for all the 100 products. Then what? The products which are selling what? Good, we need to maintain what? More stock. The products which are selling bad, we need to maintain what? Less stock. So if you maintain same stock for every product, what is the problem? So
Losses.
losses you will get it. So this decision, which products we need to maintain more stock, less stock, only you can understand after doing what? Data
Data.
analysis. So let's say another example. Now ICICI, let's take ICICI Bank is there. Currently, ICICI Bank is operating in 1,000 branches. How many branches? 1,000 branches. They are planning to close 10 branches. What they are planning to do? Close how many branches? 10 branches. What they will do? They will go randomly pick the 10 branches and close it, or what they will do? They will do data analysis first. They'll take all the 1,000 branches data and they'll do what? Data analysis. When they do the data analysis, they'll understand where they are doing good, where they are doing bad. They'll go to the branches which they are doing bad and they'll go and close it. So every company need to perform what? Data analysis to take what?
Analysis.
Better decisions. So no matter the company is big or small, must and should they need to do data analysis. Otherwise, they cannot take right decisions. They cannot take what? Right decisions. Let me explain this point like this. When there is any company, so tell me some company names. Flipkart is one company. Amazon is one company. ICICI is one company. I will add this institute name as one company. In analytics benchmark, we are one company. When there is any company, that company will do some business, guys. Yes or no? You tell me, Flipkart is doing what kind of business? E-commerce. What is the business? Amazon
E-com.
also doing what? E-commerce.
E-com.
ICICI is doing banking business. Analytics
Banking.
benchmark is into edutech, education,
Edited.
right? Online people, please be on mute. Just to avoid disturbance, please be on mute. Okay. When there is any company, the company will do what I said? Business. Different companies will do different business. When a company is doing the business, they'll get what? Business data or not? Yes, you tell me when Flipkart is doing what e-commerce business, what type of business data they'll get? They're doing e-commerce business. They'll get what? Orders related data. They'll get what? Returns related data. They'll get what? Customers related data. They'll get what? Products related data. They'll get what? Sales related data. If I keep on writing, I can write lot of different data. All this data comes under what? Business data, guys. So Amazon also doing e-commerce business. They also get similar kind of data or not? Now you tell me, ICICI is doing banking business. When they do the banking business, what is the data they'll get? They'll also
Customer
have customer data. To be more specific, they'll have savings account customers data, credit card
current
data,
account.
loans data, insurance data, lot of data, transactions data, day-to-day transactions data. So if you keep on writing, I can write lot of data here. You tell me analytics benchmark is doing into education, right? What
Students
is the
data.
business data I'll get?
Student
Students.
lecturer.
The most important online people, I request please be on mute. Students data. What data? Student data, staff data, fee related data. All these are the business data for this company. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Okay, when a company is getting the business data, that business data will be stored. Some companies will store the business data in where? Excel files. The people who have less volumes of data. So for me, every day around 5-10 students will come and do the enquiries. 5-10 means less data. Will store in where? Files. Will store in where? Files like Excel. You take Amazon and Flipkart, per day thousands of orders will be placed, right? They will store the data in databases like SQL Server database or Oracle database or some other place also. Not only this, I write 3 examples. Some companies will store the data in where? MySQL, DB2, and so on. And so on. I can write different places. Okay, companies will store the data in, when a company is getting the business data, that will be stored in some data source, guys. Stored in where? Data source. That data source might be, what is the example for data source I said? One is what? Excel, SQL Server, or like MySQL. All this comes under what? Wherever we are storing the data, business data, that is a data source, some data source. So what is the next step is, once the business data is stored in the data source, I said that they want to analyze the data. What they need to do? Data analysis means analyzing the data. Analyzing the data means, so where we are doing good and bad. Analyzing the data means where we are doing good and bad. Why we need to understand where we are doing good and bad? To take decisions. To take the decisions. So that is the flow, guys. So I said that once the business data is stored in any data source, the data need to be analyzed. Why companies need to analyze the data is, companies need to analyze the data to take better decisions. Companies need to analyze data, analyze data, analyze data to take what? Better business decisions. Okay, in order to analyze the data, they required something called reports, guys. Try to understand. Companies to analyze data required something called what I'm telling? Reports. Let me show you how the reports will look like. I'm just going to show you. I'm telling reports, right? I'll just show you how the reports will look like. Go here. I'm just going to open a couple of reports just to show you how they will look like. Mm. Okay. So this is, let's see here. This is one of the report. This is how the report look like. I just showing you some sample reports. This is the another report. Let's see here. I'm going to another report. What is the report name? You can see the title of the report, e-commerce sales report, right? So each one we call it as a visual. Line chart is one visual. Column chart is one visual. Donut chart is one visual. Scatter chart is one visual. Map is one visual. Card, each card is one visual. Uh, there are many visuals here. All the visuals together, we call it as what? Report. Companies require this kind of reports for what purpose? Means analyze the data. For what purpose? Analyze the data. If you look at here, there is one of the report here with the name What you have in this report, just observe and tell me what you have in this visual. In this visual, you have month-wise sales. Month-wise sales. My company month-wise sales is there. By looking at this visual, I can easily understand which month my company is doing more sales. Which month? November is the month where we have more sales. Which month is having less sales? February. February is the one which have less sales. So now, based on this, I'll take decisions. I'll take what? Decision. What is the decision your company need to take from this visual is, generally your company's business will be high in where? November month. What you need to do then? You need to maintain more stock there. Yes or no? In February month, your business will be less. What you need to do? You need to maintain less stock. What is the problem if you maintain more stock in February month? Loss, right? That kind of decisions we need to take. Let me tell you another example. I have another visual here. Look at this visual. In this visual, what you are showing? Subcategory wise profit. Subcategory wise profit. When I share this visual with my company people can understand where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. Yes or no? Which subcategory is generating highest profit? Copiers. Copiers. Which one is generating lowest profits? Tables. Tables is having what number? Minus 18K. Minus profit number in minus is what? Loss. It is what? Loss. I can see suppliers bookcases have negative numbers. Negative numbers means losses. When I share this visual with my company people understand where they are doing good and bad. Based on that, they can take the decisions or not. What is the one decision my company is planning to take is they're planning to stop selling what? Sorry, they're planning to stop selling suppliers bookcase and tables. Why? Losses. They're planning to concentrate more on copiers business and phones business. Why they were planning to concentrate more on copiers and phones? Huge profits.
Correct.
So that kind of decisions will take. Try to understand. Companies require this kind of reports. Companies require this kind of reports. For what purpose? To understand where they are doing good or bad. Why they need to understand where they are doing good or bad? Based on that, they can take the decisions. They can take the decisions, right? So what we said is, when there is any company, when they do the business, when they got the business data, it will be stored in where? Data source. That business data company need to do what? Analyze. Why companies need to analyze the data set? Companies need to analyze data to take better decisions. In order to analyze the data, what we required, I said, companies to analyze the data required what? Reports. This kind of reports they required. You see some sample reports here. This kind of reports are required. So in order to create the reports, we need to perform this complete data analysis. People will think that we will directly go and create the reports. No. Before creating the reports, we guys need to do what? ETL. We need to create what? OLAP, and then we'll create what? Reports. I will explain. Any company which want to create the report, they need to perform what? Data analysis, guys. Companies to create the reports. Companies to create reports. Reports need to perform. Need to perform what? Data analysis. Any company which need to create the reports, they need to perform these 5 steps. They need to perform this 5 steps. Okay, now final conclusion is, you take any company, must and should that company need to perform what? Data analysis. So by performing data analysis, they'll create what? Reports. Using the reports, they will do what? Analyze the data. After analyzing the data, they'll take what? Decisions. They'll take what? Decisions. So any company which need to take decisions, what they need to do? Analyze the data. To analyze the data, what they required? Reports. To create the reports, what they need to do? Data analysis. To create the reports, they need to do what? They need to perform data analysis. Every company will perform data analysis. Using data analysis, they'll create the reports. Using reports, they'll analyze the data. Using analysis, they'll take what? Better decisions. This is the flow, guys. That is the reason I said that each and every company will perform what? Data analysis. Okay, now we will go and try to understand these 5 steps now. Okay, you got an idea. Who will perform this data analysis means you understand it. Now, before I explain these 5 steps, let's understand who is data analyst. Who is data analyst? The person who performs data analysis is a data analyst. The person who performs what? Performs data analysis is a what? Data analyst. Take an example. The person who do this ETL, who create this OLAP database, who create the reports, who share the report with the clients, the person who do all these 5 steps, that person name is what? Data analyst. Data analyst. Okay, just have an idea. Now, let's start with understanding OLTP. In the data analysis, what is the first step? OLTP, right? We'll try to understand what OLTP means. What is the full form for OLTP? Is online transactional processing. Online transactional processing. Let me give the detailed definition of OLTP. The place where companies stores the business data, the place where companies stores business data. Companies stores business data. We call as what? OLTP. OLTP or data source. OLTP or data source. I'll tell you. So if my company is storing the business data in the SQL server, we can call the SQL server as either OLTP or data source, guys. Or what? Data source. OLTP and data source are same. You can anyway, both are same. SQL server. So I'll just tell it that. Okay. So the place where companies are storing the data is business data is what? SQL server or SQL server. SQL. So now, so full form for SQL is structured query language. Structured query language, which sometimes call it as SQL. There is no difference. SQL or SQL. SQL. Both are same. Okay. Okay. The place where company stores the business data, we call it as OLTP. So business data also call it as transactional data. What is the another name? Transactional data. I'll tell you how you got this name. OLTP or online transactional processing. Uh, Wherever companies are storing business data or what? Transactional data. I'm telling that business data also known as transactional data. Wherever we store the transactional data, we generally call it as online transactional processing. In the name itself, you can see what? Transactional, because it store what? Transactional data, because it store. In short, online transactional processing, we call it as what? OLT. That is how you got the name. So business data, we call it as transaction data. Wherever we store the transaction data, we call it as online transactional processing. In short, we call it as what? OLTP case. Every company will have. So see, anything, even if my company is storing the business data in the Oracle database, in which database? We also call Oracle as what? OLTP. Wherever we are storing the business data, we are calling it as what? OLTP. If SQL Server also, we can call it as OLTP. Oracle also OLTP. Why? Because it is the place where we are storing the business data. Write that point, guys. Every company will have one or multiple OLTPs to store what? I'm telling every company will have one or multiple OLTPs for what? For storing business data or transaction data. For storing what? Every company will get some business data or transaction data, right? They need to store it for their future reference purpose. Let's say you paid some fee. We need to store that amount or not. If you don't store it, again, we might ask to pay the fee again. So we need to store it for future reference. Every company to store the business data or transaction data, they'll have what? One or multiple OLTPs. Why multiple? See, take some companies, you take ICICI. ICICI will have lot of different data. They'll have savings account data. They'll have credit card data. They might not go and store all the data in a single place. They might store savings account data in the SQL server, credit card data in the Oracle. Please come in. So in that case, how many OLTPs you are storing the data? Savings account data in SQL server means you are storing in one OLTP. Credit card data in Oracle database means second OLTP. How many OLTPs you are storing? Two OLTPs. Two. So like this, I said that companies will have what? One or multiple OLTPs. Some company will have only one. Some companies will have what? Multiple OLTPs to store what? Business data or transaction. Final point is a company will have a single OLTP or multiple OLTPs. For what purpose companies will have OLTPs? In order to store the business data. That is the starting point. Now, I hope you got an idea what is OLTP. Simple. Don't think much about the OLTP. Wherever companies are storing their business data, that we call it as what? OLTP. That we call it as what? If company is storing the business data in the SQL server, we call SQL server as what? OLTP. If company is storing the data in Oracle, we can call Oracle as what? OLTP. That is the first point, guys. Okay. So second point is concentrate. Companies, we understand what is OLTP, right? Now, companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to data analyst. To whom? Data analyst, and ask to create reports. Ask to create what? Reports to analyze the data. What we are trying to tell? Companies will provide what? One or multiple OLTPs to whom? Data analyst, and ask to what? Create the reports for what purpose? To analyze the data. To analyze the data. An important point is it is never recommended to go and create reports on what? OLTPs. It is never recommended to go and create reports directly on what? OLTPs. Write a point. Make a note. It is never recommended. It is never recommended to create reports directly on OLTPs. Directly on what? OLTPs. Why? What is the reason? Someone tell me. We are trying to tell, okay, even though company provided OLTP to the data analyst and they're asking to create the reports, I'm telling that it is never recommended to go and create reports directly on OLTPs. Any reason, online people? You know?
Raw data.
Rao, if you are speaking, we are not able to hear you.
That is the raw data, sir.
Raw data. Yes, guys. So OLTPs generally contains raw data or unstructured data. What data? Raw data. Raw data also known as what? Unstructured data, which is not useful for what? Creating the reports. Within 2 minutes, I'll show you what is raw data or what is unstructured data, why it is not useful for creating the report. I'll practically show you. Okay, for now, keep in mind this point. Generally, data analysts never create the reports directly on what? Create the reports directly on what? OLTPs. So now data analysts need to create a new database. Data analysts need to create a new database called OLAP. Database. Now data analysts need to create a new database called what? OLAP. For what purpose? Data analysts need to create a new database called OLAP. For what purpose? To create the reports. Why he need to create a new? It's a brand new database. We need to develop from the scratch. As OLTP is not useful. OLTP is a database. As it is not useful for what? Creating the reports. Who will provide this OLTPs to the data analyst? Data analyst will create OLTP or company will provide? Company will provide. Who will provide the OLAP? Company will provide or data analyst need to create? Data analyst need to create. That's what data analyst need to create a what? New database. From the scratch, he need to create it. That we call it as what? OLAP. For what purpose? To create the reports. Okay. Now, what is the full form for OLAP is? OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing. I'll tell you how you got the name. OLTP stands for what? Online Transactional Processing. OLAP stands for what? Online Analytical Processing. So now it's a brand new database, right? We need to move the business data from OLTP database to OLAP database. To move the data from OLTP to OLAP, we need some softwares called what? ETL. Right, that point? To move the data from OLTP to OLAP, to move data from OLTP to OLAP, we need what software? ETL software. To move the data from OLTP to OLAP, we require some software called what? ETL. What ETL stands for? Extract, transform, load. We are telling that we need to move the data now. OLTP. I said that OLTPs contains what type of data? Means raw data or unstructured data. Unstructured data. Okay. Sorry, guys. Now, I said that we need to move the data here. What data we need to move to the OLAP is, it is not necessary you need to move all the business data into OLAP. While bringing the data from OLTP to OLAP, we need to bring only the data which we need to use for what? Create the reports. Try to understand, in OLTP, I have data currently in 100 tables. How many tables? 100 tables. In the reports, client want to see only 10 tables data. How many tables data? 10 tables data. Now you guys tell me, from OLTP to OLAP, you want to bring 100 tables or only 10 tables? Only 10 tables. I said that we need to bring only the tables which we need to create what? Reports. Out of 100, we are going to use how many tables? 10. That 10 tables only you need to bring it. The meaning is, OLAP will have only data required for analysis purpose. What purpose? Analysis. Analysis means creating reports. Analysis means what data you need to show in the reports. That data we call it as data required for analysis. Okay. So in OLAP, we are going to store analytical data. What type of data we are storing in OLAP? Analytical data required for analysis. Data required for analysis, we call it as what? Analytical data. In OLAP, you are storing here, you are storing analytical data. As you are storing analytical data, we call it as what? Online analytical processing. In short, OLAP. How you got the names? So how you got this name OLTP? Because it store what? Transactional data. Because that we call it as online transactional processing. That short OLTP. When you store analytical data, we call it as what? Online analytical processing. In short, OLAP. So when it comes to OLAP, the data will be in the structured format, not in the unstructured format. What we are trying to tell? Data will be in which format? Structured. So how the OLAP data will be structured? So you are moving the data from, you are telling OLTP is unstructured, OLAP is structured. Data, OLAP is getting the data from where? OLTP only, right? So OLAP is getting the data from OLTP. When OLTP is unstructured, how it is becoming structured here? You are moving through a software called what? ETL. E stands for what? Extract. Extract means take the data. T stands for what? Transform. Transform means it will convert unstructured to what? Structured. Unstructured to structured. Major work in the ETL is transform. Major work in the ETL is what? Transform. It take the data, unstructured data, it convert unstructured data to structured, and that structured data is stored in where? OLAP. If you directly load the data from OLTP to OLAP, then OLAP also gets structured data or unstructured data. If you directly load it, not through ETL, if you directly load it, unstructured only. If you move through
Unstructured.
ETL, it will be structured or unstructured? Structured, right? You understand, right? Now let me show with small example what is unstructured data, why it is not useful for creating the reports, why we need to clean the data in the ETL tools, why we need the structured data to create the reports. With small example, I'll show you. I'll just open one PPT. Just look at these tables. Take the first table as OLTP. This is how the data in the OLTP. This is how the data in the OLAP. From OLTP to OLAP, you will move data how? With what? ETL. You will move using what? ETL. Now, generally into the OLTP, data will come from different people, guys. Let's say in the Amazon website, only one customer will go and place the order, or hundreds of customers will go and place the order. Hundreds of customers will go and place the order, right? So when I ask 5 members to write their country name, will a person will write their country name in the same format or different format? Different format. Each person will write let's say, even when I ask some people to write Andhra Pradesh, if you are coming from AP, Andhra Pradesh, if I ask you to write the state name, some people write AP. Some people will write what? Andhra Pradesh. Some people will write TS. Some people will write what? Telangana. Complete right. See, different formats they'll write. So OLTP will get the data from different people. Each person might enter the data in different formats. One person enter completely United States. Second person enter like what? US. Third person enter like what? U.S.US.USA. When the data is in different, but all the places, the country name is what here? First 5 records are United States only. So when you have the data in different formats, you can call this as unstructured data. What data? Unstructured data. One time United Kingdom, second time UK, sixth record and seventh record are United Kingdom. This is unstructured data. But when it comes to OLAP, the data is in the same format. So United States, US, United States. Everywhere country name is same or not? Where you converted this US to United States? ETL. In ETL, after extracting, you will transform. You'll transform means you will convert US to what? United States. USA to what? United States. UK to what? United. That all we call it as transformation. Now OLAP is having the data in the single format. It is structured or unstructured? Structured. Now you got what is unstructured or what is structured, right? Now let's go to the next slide. Go to the next slide and look at the side. So now this time I'm going to create this report on OLTP. This is OLTP, guys. Directly I'm creating the report on OLTP. What you are showing in the report? Country-wise sum of sales. When I shared this report with my company people said this report is wrong. Why this report is wrong? So that is the problem. When you go and create the report on OLTP, you will get report wrong. What is this? Why? What is the wrong in this report? No.
USA,
What is the wrong
US.
in this report?
The country name is in a different part.
See, what company is expecting is to see only two sales values. How many countries your company is doing the business? Only two countries. One is US, United States. Second one is United Kingdom. They want to see two sales values. Now it is showing how many states here? 7 different. For USA, 5, and for UK, 2. Totally 7 country names it is showing. How many sales values you are seeing? 7 sales value. I cannot do any analysis using. Why we will create the reports? Companies will create the reports to analyze the data or not? I cannot do any analysis using this visual. The problem is not with the visual. Problem is with what? The data what we feed here. That is the problem. So when you are creating the reports, you are not supposed to create the reports on unstructured data. When you create the reports on unstructured data, you'll get the report, but that report is not useful for what? Analysis. That report is not useful for analysis. Now go to the next slide and see it. This time, this is OLTP or OLAP? OLAP. This is OLAP. On OLAP, you are trying to create what? Visual. What you are trying to show here now? Country-wise sum of sales. Same country-wise sum of sales. What this reporting tools will do is similar names. It will group as one. And you have 5 sales values. It will sum. When you sum this 100 plus 200, 300 plus 300, 600, 1000, 1500. Are you getting 1500 here? And it will group this United Kingdom as one value and 100 plus 200, how much? 300. When I shared this visual with my company people said this visual is correct. We are doing the business in how many countries? United States and United Kingdom. Which one is doing more sales? United States is doing more sales. Which one is doing less sales? United Kingdom is doing less sales. I can take some decisions here based on that. I can send more stock to United States. I can send less stock to what? United Kingdom. Based on that, I can take some decisions here, right? Previously, I cannot do that. So that is the reason. I hope you got an idea. What is the problem when you go and create the reports directly on OLTP? You'll get the report, but that report is not useful for doing what? Analysis. So because you will have unstructured data. First, you need to bring the unstructured data to what softwares? ETL softwares, and you need to clean the data. What you need to do here? Clean or transform the data. Clean or transform. The clean data or transformed data will load. Wherever we load the clean data or transformed data, we call it as what? OLAP. OLAP will have data required for analysis in what format? Structured. That data we will use it for what? Creating the reports. You guys tell me, I showed you some reports here, right? These reports are created on OLTP or OLAP? I just show you some sample reports. We'll create these reports on OLTP or OLAP? OLAP. Always we create this kind of reports on OLAP, not on the OLTP. Okay. Now, whatever the information you shown in the reports, we call it as actionable information. What? Actionable information. What we are trying to tell is the information which you are going to see here. This information what you are seeing in these visuals, we call it as actionable information. Why we call it as actionable information is when you share this visual with your company people, by using this information, they'll take decisions. They'll take what? Better decisions. I said that using this visual, my company taken 2 decisions. What are the 2 decisions I said? One decision is planning to stop selling what? Suppliers, bookcases, tables. That is one decision. Second decision they taken is what? Planning to concentrate more on copiers business and phones business. Yes or no? So when company take the decisions are nothing but actions. Decisions are nothing but what? Actions. So by using the data in the visual, clients will take what? Decisions are actions. That is the reason we call it as what information? Actionable information. Actionable. So using the information in the reports, clients will take actions. That is the reason we call it as what information? Actionable information. Now go and read the definition of data analysis, what I provided. So while starting, I provide the definition of data analysis, right? What is the definition I provide? Data analysis, how many step process? 5-step process. This 5 steps name is what? Data analysis. What it will do, which converts what? Business data to actionable. Where do you have business data? OLTPs. Where do you have actionable information? Reports. To convert the business data into actionable information, first you need to do what? First important work for the data analyst is what? ETL, guess. First major work for data analyst is ETL. OLTP, who will provide to the data analyst? Company. First major work for the data analyst is what? ETL. Second major work for data analyst is what? Creating OLAP database. Third major work is what? Create reports. Sharing the reports to the client is a easy task. It's what? Easy task. 3 major tasks is what? ETL, creating OLAP database, creating reports. Try to understand in the data analysis, even though you have 5 steps, 2 steps are not difficult. Company will provide this OLTPs. Major steps is ETL is the first major step, OLAP is the second major step, creating reports is the third major step. For whom? These are the 3 major steps for whom? Data analyst. Data analyst. Okay, guys. Now, by this time, we understand what is data analysis. Now you are good to go and understand what? Power BI. What is Power BI? So I said that without knowing the data analysis, don't start learning Power BI. Now, as we already know what data analysis contains, now we are good to start what? Power BI. Someone tell me who developed a Power BI software? Which company developed Power BI software?
Microsoft.
Microsoft developed Power BI. Microsoft developed Power BI software for what purpose?
Data analysis.
To do data analysis. Perfect. To do what? Microsoft developed to do data analysis. Microsoft understand that every company need to do data analysis. Why don't we develop one software which will help to do the data analysis? They develop which software? Power BI. So Power BI is developed to do this 5 steps case. Simple. Microsoft developed Power BI in order to do what? Data analysis. Data analysis contain how many steps? 5 steps. To do this 5 steps, we have a software called what? Power BI. First point you need to know about Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. It have multiple softwares in it. Tell me guys, what are the different softwares available in Power BI? First software available in Power BI, first software available in Power BI is Power BI Desktop. What is the first software? Power BI Desktop. Online people, you please be on mute. Power BI Desktop. What is the second software available in Power BI is Power BI Service. Which one? Power BI Service. Third software available in Power BI is Power BI Report Server. Power BI Report Server. You just concentrate, guys. I'll explain. And the fourth software available in Power BI is Power BI Mobile. What is the software? Power. These are the 4 softwares available in Power BI. Out of the 4 softwares, the major software in Power BI Desktop is Power BI is Power BI Desktop, guys. Power BI Desktop is a development software in Power BI. Development software in Power BI. Power BI developer will work 90% of time in Power BI Desktop only. Tomorrow, you join this course for what purpose, guys? You people are here. You join this course to learn what software? You people join today's class to learn Power BI. How much time it will take my team said to learn Power BI? 2 months. After 2 months, you will become a Power BI data analyst. You will become a Power BI data analyst. So using the person who do the data analysis using Power BI. Try to understand. You are going to do these 5 steps using which software? Power BI. Person who do these 5 steps using Power BI, that person name is what? Power BI data analyst. Power BI data analyst. So after 2 months, once you become Power BI data analyst, most of the time work in which software? Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop, 90% of time you will work. Remaining 3 softwares are there, right? In all the 3 softwares together, you will work for how much time? Remaining 10% of time. That meaning is what? These softwares are small softwares. What? Small softwares. What is the major software in Power BI? Power BI desktop. What you will do there? Development. Now, let's see. I'll just open another Power BI architecture slide to make you understand better. This is Power BI desktop case. This Power BI desktop again internally contains 3 more softwares. What are the 3 more softwares? Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. These 3 softwares are available in where? Power BI desktop. Write them also. So I'm just listing available softwares in Power BI. First software is what? Power Query. Second one is what? Power Pivot. Third one is what? Power View, right? So these are the different softwares available. We use all these softwares and we need to perform what? So I listed all the softwares available in Power BI. By using all these softwares, what you need to do? Data analysis. You need to do these 5 steps. Now I'll tell you how to do these 5 steps using this list of softwares. So to the Power BI data analyst, who will provide the OLTPs? Company. OLTPs will be provided by what? This OLTPs who will provide to the Power BI data analyst is company. No need to do anything. What is the next step Power BI data analyst need to do after having the ETL? OLTPs, you need to do ETL. OLTP have unstructured data. You need to clean it. To clean it, you need to do it in ETL, right? ETL software. What is the ETL software in Power BI is Power Query, guys. What is the ETL software? Power Query. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. Let me go to Power BI architecture slide to make you understand better. You see, I said that Power Query is what software here? ETL. ETL software will connect to the data source. It will extract whatever the data source it is. It will extract the data. In Power Query, it will transform the data. The transformed data, it will load into Power Pivot, guys. It will load into where? Power Pivot. This image, what it is telling is Power Query is ETL software. Next, once ETL is done, what is the next step? Power BI data analyst need to create what? OLAP. In Power BI, where we will create the OLAP is using a software called what? Power Pivot. Power Pivot is a database. Power Pivot is a what? Database which is used to create OLAP, which is used to create what? OLAP. Okay. Now, so how SQL Server is one database, how Oracle is one database, Power Pivot is also a similar kind of database. How we will store the data in SQL Server in the form of tables, how we will store the data in Oracle in the form of tables. Power Pivot also store the data in the form of what? Tables. In the form of tables. So you extracted tables here. You transform the data in the tables. You load the tables to where? Power Pivot. The tables will be stored in the Power Pivot. Using the tables, we will design what? OLAP database. Okay. Now we understand ETL will be performed in the Power Query. OLAP database will be created in where? Power Pivot. What is the next step? Create the reports. Where we need to create the reports is in Power BI using a software called what? Power View. Power View is a software which is used to create the reports. Power View is a software which is used to create reports. Once you create the reports, that reports contains what? Actionable information. To whom you need to share it? We need to share with the clients. Okay, we understand. In Power View, in the architecture slide, you can see in Power View, we'll create what? Reports. That reports contains what? Actionable information. Finally, you need to share with whom? Clients. Power BI desktop cannot share the reports to clients. Power BI desktop cannot share the reports to whom? Clients. In order to share the reports, we need to use either Power BI service for sharing or Power BI report server for sharing. So first, whatever the report we developed in the Power BI desktop, we need to move. Publish means what? Publish means move the report to where? Power BI service and share with the clients. Or we need to move the report to Power BI report server, we need to share with the clients. So what is the meaning is, to share the reports to the clients, we are telling that either we need to use Power BI service or either we need to use Power BI report server, we are telling. Okay. Now you might need to get one question here. Have you got any question here? What I explained so far in this small table? You don't get any question here? You people might need to get one question here.
Difference
Yes.
between Power BI service and
report server.
What is the question?
What is the difference between the report server and Power BI service?
Why there are two softwares to do the same work? Correct. In order to do ETL, I have only what? Power Query. In order to create OLAP database, I have only what? Power Pivot. In order to create reports, you have what? Power View. In order to share the reports to the clients, you have what? Power BI service and Power BI report server. Why there are two softwares to do the same work? What is the difference? So what is the difference is, one is a cloud. Here, just a second, guys. One is a cloud. Oh, okay, just a second. Just give me a second of time. Online people, you are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Is everything fine?
Yes.
Right. If there is any issues, just let me know, guys. Fine, guys. Now let's continue. So what is the difference is, one is a cloud. Power BI service is a cloud one. Which one? Cloud. Power BI report server is a on-premise. It is what? What is the difference here? We are telling. One is cloud. Second one is what? On-premise. On-premise. So no company will use both of them. A company, after developing the report, some companies will publish it to the cloud and they'll share with the clients. Some companies will publish it to what? Power BI report server and they'll share with the client. Either they will use cloud or either they will use what? On-premise. Which one is mostly used is, greater than 99% of the companies, they're using what? Cloud. Only 1% of the companies, they're using what? On-premise. We'll learn what is cloud, why most of the people are using cloud. Power BI service is a Azure cloud-based software which is used to share reports to the clients, which is used to share the how many companies are using, I said? How much percentage? 99% of companies are using this. Power BI report server, what I said? On-premise software which is used to share reports to whom? Clients. How much percentage I said? Only 1%. What is the meaning? Here the meaning is, most of the companies, after they develop the report in Power BI Desktop Power View, they'll publish it to where? Power BI service. From there, they'll share with whom? Clients. Whatever the reports we shared with the clients, where the clients can check it. Let's say I send an email to you. Where are the places you can check the email? You can check the email using laptop. If you have a laptop, you will check in a laptop. If you have a desktop, you will check the email in the desktop. What is the other place we can check the email? Not only with laptop and desktop. What is the other place?
mobile.
Mobile phone. Using what? Mobile. In the same way, whatever the reports we share with the clients, clients also can check them in where? Laptops, desktops,
Mobile.
and mobile phone. In order to check the reports in mobile, they required a mobile app. What they required? Mobile app. What is the mobile app name is? Microsoft developed a mobile app name called what? Power BI Mobile. When I go to Play Store or App Store, when I search with the name called Power BI Mobile, you will find a mobile app. Power BI Mobile. It's a what? It's a mobile app which is used to view the reports in where? Mobiles or tabs or iPads. And where? iPads. So it's a mobile app. So Microsoft developed the mobile app for iOS. Microsoft have mobile app for what? Android. And they also have mobile app for Windows. Who will install the mobile app? Developers or clients? Very good. Who will install the mobile app? Developers or clients?
Clients.
What is the use of mobile app? Clients who want to see the reports. You share the reports to the clients. Clients are the one who want to see what? Reports. Who will install this mobile app? Clients, right? Okay, guys. Tell me, these are the different softwares available in Power BI. Using these softwares, am I able to do this complete data analysis or not? Yes. OLTPs will be provided by company. ETL will be performed in concentrate there. OLAP will be created in Power Pivot. Reports will be generated in Power View. That reports will be shared with the clients using what? Power BI service. So using the softwares available in Power BI, I can do the complete data analysis. Now, by this time, you people understand what is data analysis and what is Power BI. The best definition for Power BI is Power BI. If someone asks you, tell me what is Power BI? Power BI is the name for collection of softwares which are used to perform what? Which are used to perform what? Power BI is the name for collection of softwares which are used to perform what?
Data analysis.
Tell me, guys, what you need? What? Data analysis, which are used to perform what? Data analysis. You need to tell which are used to perform these 5 steps. So if someone asks you, tell me what is Power BI, you need to tell Power BI is the name for what? Collection of softwares which are used to perform what? Come. Which are used to perform what? Data analysis.
Data analysis.
Which are used to perform data analysis. So we clearly understand what are the different collection of softwares available in Power BI and how to perform the data analysis. We understand, guys. Now, let me consolidate this too. First 40 minutes in today's class, first 40 minutes, I discussed about data analysis. What I discussed? Data analysis. Next 20 minutes, I discussed about what? Power BI, right? Now I am going to consolidate this 60 minutes class. See, what I'm going to consolidate is how to perform what? Data analysis using Power BI. In the data analysis, what is the first step? OLTP. A company will have a single OLTP or multiple OLTPs. Who will provide the OLTPs to the data analyst, Power BI data analyst? Companies. In the data analysis, what is the second step after OLTPs? ETL. Where we will do the ETL in Power BI?
Power Query.
Power Query. Correct. ETL will be done in the Power Query. Second, after ETL, what is the next step in the data analysis? Creating OLAP. Where you will create OLAP, I said? Power Pivot. After creating OLAP in data analysis, what is the fourth step? Create reports. I said that you use which software to create the reports?
Power BI.
Power View. And once you create the reports, what is the last step in the data analysis? Share reports to the clients. Share reports to clients. In order to share the reports to the clients, which software you will use?
Power BI service.
So you need to learn this, guys. You don't need to learn anything about OLTPs. That will be provided by the company. As a Power BI developer, first you need to learn how to do ETL in where? Power Query. We will discuss this for 13 hours of time. How much time? 13 hours. After that, we will discuss how to create OLAP database in where? Power Pivot. And we will discuss this for 17 hours of time. How much time? 17 hours. After that, next step is what? Create reports. Where we will create the reports? Power View. We'll discuss this for how many hours of time is 17 hours. After creating the reports, what is the next step? Share reports to the clients using what? Power BI service. This will be discussed for 13 hours of time. I'll tell you guys. This is the breakdown. Totally Power BI course, I'll cover for 60 hours of time. How many hours? 60 hours. In the 60 hours, you people will learn how to do what? Data analysis using a software called what? Power BI. That is the breakdown of this 60 hours. Okay. Now, technically we are done. Let me tell you some general points. In order to learn Power BI, I'll just tell you some general points. Instead of typing them, I'll just copy paste it and I'll explain. These general points are important in order to learn Power BI. instead of copy paste, instead of typing them, I'll just copy paste and I'll explain these general points, guys. These are the points I need to cover. It doesn't take much time, hardly. So within few minutes, I'll complete it. Let's see, guys, what are these general points? The first point is when I'm going to start the new batch. Forget about the batch which started 10 days back. It is not possible for you. Just remove this. I'm going to start another batch on what date? 5th Jan 2026. Coming Monday. So not this Monday. Next Monday. Okay. So at what time batch will start? 9:30 to 10:30. For how many months? 2 months. 2 months, this timing is same. So you people can attend 2 more classes for free. Today is a first free class where we discussed completely theory. I don't show you what is ETL, how to practically do it. I don't show anything practically. Everything I show you theoretically today. With theory, I give the examples. Whatever I theoretically explain today, in the next 2 free classes, you will practically learn them. When is the first free class? Not first. 5th of January. Continuation to today's class is what? Continuation to today's class is 5th. 5th and 6th class, you again 2 more free classes. In the 2 free classes, we'll start what? Practicals. So practically at a high level, how the Power BI software will work, you will learn in what? Next 2 free classes. They will not cost you anything. Please join the next 2 free classes so that you people will get the complete idea practically about Power BI. Okay, that is about the new batch details, guys. And another mail you are going to get. If these timings will not work out for you, after Sankranti, we will start one more batch. Most probably, it will be on 21st of January, guys. Which one? Long gap. 21st of January. If these timings will not work out for you, I might start another batch. When I'm going to start another batch is almost 25th of Jan 2026. And it is Wednesday. Which day? Wednesday. At what time you will have that is 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time to 8:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. Okay. So that is the new batch details. You can choose which batch you want. Now, once we are done with the class, I'm going to send one mail to you. You are going to get one mail. All the people, you already provided your email IDs to my team. We have your email IDs. You are going to get this mail. What the mail will contain? Recorded session. I record this video, I'll share it. What is the second thing you'll get in the mail? Notepad. This complete notepad, what I written the notes. In the last 1 hour, you are going to get this notes, guys. Third thing you are going to get is, along with the notepad, you are going to get introduction class Word document. Every class you will get the Power BI materials like this. If you see, each class you will get one Word document like this. Today is what? Introduction, right? This is the introduction class Word document. I'm going to attach this Word document in the mail. Just go through it once. Along with the Word document, you are going to get what? Course content. What is the duration of the course? I said 60 hours. It will take what? More than 2 months. Daily, how much time I will take the class? 1 hour. 1 hour from where to where? Monday to Saturday. Sunday is holiday, right? It will take more than 2 months of time. More than 2 months of time. What you will learn in the I'll just share this course content, guys. What you people need to do is I'll attach this course content in the mail. Please go through the course content and see what topics I'm going to cover as part of Power BI. I prepared this course content, and how many pages it have? 11 pages. In the 11 pages, I clearly break down what I am going to cover. Believe me, every point what I listed in the course content, I will cover with real-time examples for 60 hours of time. How much time? 60 hours of time. Let me give the breakdown. So what you will learn in the 60 hours of time is, you will learn what? How to perform data analysis using Power BI. You will learn. Once you learn this 60 hours, more than 2 months, you can comfortably keep 3 to 5 years of experience on Power BI. How much? 3 to 5 years of experience you can keep. I designed this course purely keeping in mind to keep the 3 to 5 years of experience, guys. Now, freshers also can go, but it is far ahead when compared to the freshers. Here, we know that this is data analysis. 5 steps. How we will do in Power BI? This table is there. So in that, first we will start with what I said. Power Query. How many hours you will learn Power Query? 13 hours. What you will learn for 13 hours? ETL activities. When you are learning Power Query, you will learn about a language called what? Mashup language, which will come in Power Query. After ETL, second step is OLAP, right? Where OLAP? Power Pivot. You will learn Power Pivot for how many hours? 17 hours. What you will learn? How to create OLAP database. There you will learn data modeling concepts, data warehousing concepts, and one of the important language you will learn is what? DAX language. DAX language alone you will learn for 12 hours of time. How much time? Around 12 hours of time. One of the important area for Power BI developer. Once after OLAP, next step is what? Create reports. Where? Power View. Power View you will learn for how many hours? 17 hours you will learn how to create what? Reports. Next one, Power BI service. How many hours you will learn? 13 hours. Where you will learn what? Azure cloud concepts, admin concepts, and Power BI projects, guys. So in order to keep 3 to 5 years of experience, you need to know all this. In this course is not only having the topics in Power BI, it also have this add-ons in this course. What you will have? Real-time projects. Believe me, we will do some projects here. When you even go and join in the company, the way you do the project is pin to pin same. This kind of projects will do it. In the current project, we are going to take the data from which data source? SQL Server. And these are the tables I'll take. And this document have the requirements. As per the requirements, this have a lot of requirements. As per these requirements, you will develop the reports. You will develop what? Complete data analysis, you will do it. So this requirement document have how many pages totally? 26 pages. So this kind of projects will do it. And as you want to keep 3 to 5 years of experience, you need to know what? Power BI developer roles and responsibilities. Tomorrow, when you are working in any Power BI project, what are the different roles and responsibilities we'll have? We will learn. So I'll just discuss all when you are working in any Power BI project, what are the different roles and responsibilities we'll have? We will learn, guys. Every roles and responsibility, practically we will learn them. Okay. Once you learn that, will help you in preparing what? Resume. So I'll talk to you one-on-one. Who are the people? Before I start explaining about resume, I'll talk to you. Who are the people can learn Power BI? I just write who can learn what? Power BI. Who can learn? Freshers. Freshers means who completed their education just in the year 2023 or 2024, 2025. They will be treated as what? Freshers. We have opportunities for freshers also. Second category of people who can learn Power BI. Second category of people who have what? Career gap. Career gap means somehow you are done with your graduation 5-6 years back. 5-6 years back, let's say 2017 or 2018 or somewhere you completed it, but somehow you are not working anywhere. We will call you as career gap, right? So you can learn this Power BI and you can keep some 3 to 5 years of experience. And you will try for the job as an experienced person. You might ask, I have not worked anywhere, right? How can I get that 3 to 5 years of experience? That experience will be provided by some consultancies. There will be some consultancies outside. They'll provide that experience. You'll get that experience and you will try as a what? But this course is comfortably sufficient to keep how much experience? 3 to 5 years. So, and not only career break or career gap. Next one is what? Career transition. So career transition means already you are working. Some people are working in IT side. Some people are working in non-IT side. They want to switch into Power BI data analysis. This is the best tool, guys. So even the people who need to do career transition, must and should, they need to keep 3 to 5 years of experience on Power BI. I'll tell you, I'll talk to you one-on-one. If you are a fresher, how to prepare the resume, we will discuss. If you are a career gap person, how to prepare the resume. If you are a career transition person, how to prepare the resume. This career break or career transition people must and should want to keep how much experience? Minimum 3, maximum 5. 5 to 6, you can keep it. You can manage it. How strong you learn Power BI, based on that you can keep it. Now, and the important point is all the 60 hours recorded sessions I'll share with you. And when you are doing the practice, we have a dedicated support team who will clarify all your questions. You no need to reach out to me every time. We have a separate support team people who will clarify your questions. If support team is not able to clarify your question, then you can reach out to me also. Okay, this is what you are going to get in the 60 hours of training is. Now I'll go with the questions. What is the common question people will ask is, any prerequisite to learn what? Power BI. So people will have a question that, some people will have a misconception that if I know Excel, then only I can learn what? Power BI. Strictly no. Some people will have misconception that if I know SQL, then only I can learn what? Power BI. Believe me, even if you don't know Excel, even if you don't know SQL, I will make you understand Power BI 100% effectively. So that is the reason I said that to learn Power BI, no prerequisite to learn what? Power BI. No prerequisite. Okay. As there is no prerequisite, you join my Power BI course. Within 2 months, you completed it. Okay. After 2 months, you are trying for the job on Power BI. Only with Power BI, you don't get the job. Try to understand. To learn Power BI, you don't require anything. But if you learn only Power BI, you don't get the job. What is required to get the job on Power BI is one mandatory skill. Power BI developer required a mandatory skill called what? SQL. So 90% of Power BI jobs, if you go and check, will be in the combination of what? Power BI plus SQL. So some jobs you will have Power BI plus SQL plus Python Excel. Some jobs Power BI SQL Power Apps. Some jobs Power BI SQL Tableau. Some jobs Power BI SQL ADF. I can say ignore this combination. This is less percentage. Major percentage is what? Power BI job. In every Power BI job, what is mandatory? SQL is mandatory. Now let's try to understand what is the SQL. SQL or SQL. So important thing you need to know is, I don't use the SQL anywhere in the Power BI. SQL is not used to extract the data. SQL is not used to do ETL in the Power Query. SQL is not used in Power Pivot to create OLAP database. SQL is not used to create the reports. SQL is not used to publish and share the reports to the clients. Without knowing single line of SQL, you can complete the complete Power BI project. When you can complete the complete Power BI project without knowing the SQL, then why all the Power BI jobs are asking SQL? You are getting my point? What I said? SQL is not required for what? Developing the Power BI projects. Without knowing SQL also, you can complete the Power BI project. But if you go and see, every Power BI job, they're asking what here? SQL, right? Why? So, okay, let's understand what SQL stands for. SQL stands for what? Structured query language. It's a common language which used in all the databases. It's a common language which is used in all the databases. Today, to explain this class, I choose one common language between you and me. What is that? English language. Today, I choose what language? English. So is it common for you and me or different? This language is common. In the same way, SQL is a language which is common between what? All the databases, all the data. If you want to communicate with any database, we need to speak in which language? SQL language. If you want to see the data available in this database, we need to write SQL queries. Any database you take, if you want to get the data and see it, we need to write SQL queries. Now tell me, I said that SQL is not used anywhere in the Power BI development phase. Then why SQL is required for the Power BI developer is, okay, most of the times companies will store the data in some of the database case, some of the database. So Power BI developer will take the data from databases. He'll do the ETL in the Power Query. He'll create the OLAP database in the Power Pivot. He'll generate the reports in Power View. How can you blindly tell your report is correct? You are moving the data from 3 places: Power Query to Power Pivot to Power View. Then see, let's say I given some amount to X person given to Y person given to Z person. Amount reached to the third person. What the third person will do after taking the amount? He'll count it or not? Counting means checking, testing. He is testing. So in the same way, after you create the report, whether you are getting the data completely till here or not, we need to check it. So there is a chance some mistakes might happen in Power Query. Some mistakes might happen in Power Pivot. Some mistakes might happen in Power View. Might be you are showing the wrong data here. So we need to check whether the data is properly available in the report or not. How you will check it is, you need to go to the database and you need to write SQL query here. What you need to write? SQL query. That SQL query will give some output. That output you need to compare with what? Report output. When both are matching, then only your report is correct. If both are not matching, you do some mistake in somewhere here, right? So for testing purpose, we need to write what queries here? SQL queries. See clearly, to develop the reports, we don't require what? SQL. SQL is required for what? To test the data in the reports, we need what? SQL. So we are going to teach MySQL database, where you will learn the SQL concept are same. You go and learn any database, no matter whether you learn SQL Server or Oracle or DB2 or MySQL or any other relational database, SQL concepts are same. You learn any database. If you already know SQL, you people need to learn only what? Power BI. If you don't know SQL, you need to learn both Power BI and SQL. To get the job on Power BI, you need to learn Power BI for how many hours? 60 hours. You need to learn SQL for how many hours? 30 hours. We will provide both of them. You talk to the front office team, they'll tell you guys. These are my front office team numbers. To know about the SQL classes, all that, you can talk to them. Now, I'll just go with the questions, guys. I'm done with my demo. Anybody have any questions? I'm done with the demo. We'll go with the questions now. Online people, please raise your hands if you have any questions.